what's up? Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday morning. It's another episode of the notable prisons and the inmates that occupy them. First things first, smack that subscribe button and that like button. We're on the road to 10,000. And get your lighters ready because it's about to go down this episode. Also, watch till the end. I got a pretty dope announcement at some point in this video. How shall I announce it? Anyways, we going to take a trip to FPC, Pensacola, which is a minimum security United States federal prison for male inmates in unincorporated Escambia County, Florida, right? It's near Pensacola, so that's why it got the name FPC, Pensacola. It is operated by the Feds, a division of the United States Department of Justice. FPC Pensacola is located on Softly Field, an outlying field of the Naval Air Station, Pensacola, 175 miles west of the state capital of Tallahassee, and 50 miles east of Mobile, Alabama. So real briefly, a little history lesson for you young fly players. The operations began in 1988. One of the greatest years in history, when the Bureau of Prisons negotiated a partnership with the United States Navy to lease land and several excess buildings at Softly Field in exchange for inmate labor. In 2006, the Bureau of Prisons decided to cut costs by closing the federal prison camp Eglin, which was located at Eglin Air Force Base in Okaloosa County, Florida, and moving the inmates to FPC Pensacola in July of 2009. Forbes magazine listed the prison as the number 2 cushiest prison in the United States. In October 2006, the United States Department of Justice indicted 4 people for bribery and providing contraband to inmates at the prison. In March 2007, the prison made headlines when an inmate escaped from a work detail at a naval air station. Also, there's going to be more detail about how that happened. Not the escape, but just working there. So anyways, first and foremost, we got old Tim Donaghy. I mentioned him before, but anyways, he was a former NBA ref. He pled guilty in 2007 to wire fraud conspiracy and illegal transmitting betting information for accepting thousands of dollars from professional gambler James Batista in exchange for providing inside information on games. He was released in 2009, and he only served 11 months, so they didn't even smoke him or chip him. Next, we have Chris Collins, U.S. Representative from New York's 27th District, and he's convicted of insider trading and formally incarcerated and pardoned by President Trump on the 22nd of December 2020. Next, we have Billy Walters, professional sports gambler convicted of insider trading related to Dean Foods Company. Walters was convicted of leveraging insider information that was provided to him by former Deanco Foods chairman Tom Davis into millions of dollars in profits. Professional golfer Phil Mickelson was also named in the investigation. And he was formally incarcerated, and his sentence was commuted by Trump on January 20th, 2021. Also, I'll just go ahead and just put it out there. This next episode, I interviewed someone who actually got their sentence commuted by Barack Obama. So stay tuned. Next, we have Irvin Mayfield, jazz trumpeter, guilty of New Orleans library scandal. And they only served 18 months. Robert M. Freeman, Goldman Sachs partner, convicted of insider trading, released from custody in 1990, and he only served 4 months. Douglas Green, Louisiana Insurance Commissioner from 1988 to 91, convicted in 91 of conspiracy, mail fraud, and money laundering for using his position to prop up a failing insurance company in exchange for $2.7 million in bribes. Released from custody in 2003, and he served 12 years. Next, we have Paul H. Jones, mayor of Ravenna, Ohio, from 76 to 82 and 96 to 95, convicted in 2010 of mail fraud and filing false tax returns for using his position to assist his son's business make over $260,000 in profit and failing to report these profits to the IRS. released from federal custody in '08 and transferred to an Ohio State prison. Scott Maddox, former Tallahassee City Commissioner, sentenced to 5 years for bribery, but he's now at FCI Talladega Nights. Minus the Knights, I just had to throw that in there. Robert Powell, developer of two for-profit juvenile prisons in Pennsylvania, and pled guilty to paying $770,000 to two judges in exchange for sentencing juveniles to serve time in those prisons, known as the Kids for Cash scandal. He was released from custody in 2013 after serving 18 months. Mike Berlin, lawyer, politician, and longtime political strategist, former chairman of the Georgia State Democratic Party and member of the Democratic National Committee Executive Committee, Berlin pleaded guilty to one count of wire fraud involving misuse of funds from his law firm in 2015. And he was released from custody in 2020 after serving 5 years and 3 months. And then now we have Mark Whitaker, FBI informant who assisted the ADM price fixing investigation, pled guilty in '97 to embezzling $9 million from the company. Whitaker was the subject of the 2009 Steven Soderbergh film, The Informant. Oh, tattletale old person. Good grief. And then we also have Roy Jones Jr., his uncle, who's done time at Pensacola. I couldn't really find too much on what his charges were, but one thing for sure and another thing for certain, he ended up getting into a fight with an inmate. And with that being said, I will allow this inmate to tell the story of how that happened. So stay tuned for the next episode, because it will be the interview with this guy that did time there, and he punched out Roy Jones Jr.'s uncle. Oh man. Well, y'all stay tuned, because it's going to be coming up real soon. Later, player.